The textbook name is Wireless Communications Principle and Practice, second edition, Prentice Hall, December 2001. The author's name is Rappaport, Theodore Rappaport. So he's a very famous author, and in this particular domain, in wireless communication domain. So in this subject, we are going to deal with both the aspects, wireless communication as well as mobile communication. So hope you got the difference between wireless and mobile communication. Mobile communication will come under wireless communication. Wireless in the sense there is no physical connection or wired connection between the two communication devices. And if the two communication devices are mobile in nature, if they are able to move across the globe or able to move across a coverage area, then we can say that it is a mobile communication. And please don't misunderstand that always the mobile communication is done between two handheld devices. It is not like that. It is not the concept of mobile phones actually comes under this particular subject. Okay, it can be any mobile devices like electric vehicles or any other handheld devices. It can be okay. So any devices which are able to move across the coverage area or across the globe, then we can say that it is a mobile communication. Need not necessary that always it can be the communication between two handheld mobile phones. Communication between the two mobile phones can also be under this particular subject. Other than that, you can assume any mobile devices. Okay. Now, so this is the syllabus of module 1. So here we'll be discussing about the introduction to wireless communication system and the history or the evolution, how it has been evolved. Okay, from the ancient times and the main generations of communication, wireless communication system, and examples of the technologies behind this wireless communication system. So first 3 bullets are just introduction. So only few questions may be asked from these first 3 bullets, but actually our syllabus will start from cellular concept. Okay, but this can be included in your first quiz 1, which will be held before 10th of this month, 10th September. Okay. So whatever I'm taking in today's class as well as on Monday's class, it may come for quiz 1, even though it is introduction class. Because if the introduction class, if you know the concept of this introduction class, then only you will be able to understand the concept of cells, then all the other things, frequency reuse, channel assignment strategies, handoff strategies, interference and system, capacity trunking and grade of service, improving the coverage and capacity in cellular system. The actual syllabus starts from cellular concept, but still we need to go through those introduction of mobile communication, as this is a new subject for you. Yeah. Now, I would like to explain these bullets one by one, starting from cellular concept. Just a brief explanation so that we can start from the introduction. Cellular concept means it is not the cell phone I'm talking about. Here, cellular means we are dividing the entire geographical area into small cells. That cells can be in any shape like hexagon, circular, or trapezoidal, rectangular, square shape, etc. So if we have any geographical region like Bangalore, consider this as a metropolitan city, okay, and you can divide this entire geographical area into small cells, where the cell is nothing but a small area of the entire big or large coverage. Okay, it is a small service area which is a part of the entire globe. Okay, and subscribers belonging to that particular small cell, they will be assigning the same channel. Okay, they will be assigning the same channel, same set of channels. What do you mean by channel? Can anybody say what do you mean by a channel?
Range of frequencies.
Yes, can be say considered as a range of frequencies or bandwidth assigned to a specific communication entities. Suppose I am the calling subscriber. Calling subscriber means the one who initiates the call, and I am speaking to you through the cell phone. Then you will be the called subscriber, calling and called subscriber. Okay, don't confuse. If I am initiating the call means I should be the calling subscriber. If I am calling to you means you will be the second person and you are called as called subscriber. Okay. So between this calling and called subscriber, we need to assign them a channel. So who is going to assign this channel? Particular server, which is known as mobile switching center. So he will be respond, or the particular system is responsible to allocate a particular channel to these two entities so that they can set up a voice connection or voice message, or they can communicate through the particular channel for a duration. Clear? But the thing is that nowadays the number of subscribers are increasing as the technology is developing. Clear? There is much more demand of the cellular communication or mobile communication. So what happens? We don't have much resources or bandwidth to allocate the channels for all these devices or all these subscribers. So we need to share the things. Like sharing the resources is only the solution to compensate the problem of channel scarcity. There, we can't say that you don't take subscription for, you don't take one mobile device for the subscription. We can't say, no? Because somehow the mobile switching center should be responsible for allocating the channels to these entities. So for that, we have to divide the entire geographical area into small cells, and each cell will have a base station. Clear? Each cell will have a base station. So please write these terminologies. Base station. Base station is nothing but, you can see some towers after every 2 kilometers or 3 kilometers. Like these towers will be, these towers, it will consist of a high power transmitting antennas. And what is the responsibility of these antennas in this tower? They will have a coverage around a given region. So whenever a mobile device is inside this particular coverage area, he will get service from this particular base station. Okay. Suppose I am the calling subscriber, you are the called subscriber. I will initiate the call, and this call is given to the base station, not directly to the called subscriber. Okay. Normally the signal will send to the base station. The base station is allocating one channel between the two subscribers, and then the call is being set up between the two subscribers. So base station will be having a high power antenna. Actually, the power is being allocated by this particular base station only. So whenever a cell is within the coverage area of a base station, probably this base station, it can't cover the entire geographical area. It will have certain limitation. For example, 5 kilometers is the service area or coverage distance of a particular base station. So what happens if I am moving around the edge of the cell or around the corner of the cell? Suppose a cell is in hexagonal shape. I am moving in a car. Okay, so my device will be in mobile in nature, right? So if I am moving along the edge of the hexagonal cell or edge of this coverage area, I may not get the service because the coverage area or coverage range of that particular base station to this edges of the cell will be minimum. Clear? So my signal strength is minimum. I will not be able to get any call from any of my fellow subscribers. Clear? But at the same time, if I am moving towards another cell, then my service will be handled by the next base station, which is installed at the center of the second cell. Okay, there will be another tower in the next cell. So normally that base station will be extending service for my calls. So that particular strategy is known as handoff. So this handoff is very much necessary for these mobile devices. The devices are static means it is not at all a problem. We will get the service somehow because we are static. Okay, continuously we are getting the service from the concerned base station. But if you are mobile in nature, in some point of time, we will not able to get the service from either base station because we are at the boundary. Okay, we are at the boundary of each cells. So both the base stations will have limited coverage area. But once we move to the next base station or next cell, normally the service will be switched from the first base station to the next base station without any interruption in the connectivity. Okay, even though we are moving, the service is not being terminated in between. So without termination or without interruption in the connectivity, we are getting the service, and that service is switched from one base station to the next base station. So that is very much reliable or desirable for us. Clear? So that is what is cellular concept, and we will discuss all these in detail. Then frequency reuse. I told that the scarcity of channel is very much, it is a very tedious problem in channel allocation. Okay, so what we have to do is, I have to assign a set of channels to one cell, and the same set of channels will be assigned to another cell also, but we have to be very careful that the two cells sharing the same channels should not be very close to each other. Why? Can anybody say the reason? I'll tell once again. We have two cells, neighboring cells. Okay, the two adjacent cells we have. You know what a cell? Cell is nothing but a system having a system having a base station and a number of subscriber units, either static or mobile devices. Okay, that is a combination of a base station and a number of subscribers or mobile devices. If two cells are having same channels, and if the two cells are situated very close to each other, then what is the problem?
So there can be interference of the signal, sir.
Very good. There can be interference. There can be interference between, yeah, overlapping, or there can be interference. The message will get interfered between the two cells. So that is not a feasible. Okay. So that is not a desirable way of allocation. So we have to allocate the channels in such a way that if I allocate a set of n channels to a particular cell, the same number of channels or the same set of channels can be allocated to another cell, but provided that cell should be sufficiently away from the previous cell. The new cell, it should be away from, or particular distance away from the previous cell, so that we can share the same channels. Okay, so we have to assign channels to two cells in such a way that these cells, these channels, it should not be same. These channels, it should not be same for two neighboring cells. Okay, in that way we need to assign. So that is what is known as frequency reuse. Actually, we are reusing the frequency or bandwidth, right? If you have allocated a particular bandwidth to a set of subscribers, the same bandwidth we can allocate to another set of subscribers also, but provided those subscribers should not be near. Okay, so in that way we need to allocate the channel. That is what is known as frequency reuse. So frequency reuse, in the sense, here it is bandwidth reuse or the channel reuse concept. So by making use of this concept, we will be able to extend the capacity. So what will be the advantage of using this? Can anybody say what will be the advantage of using this frequency reuse concept? The advantage of using this frequency reuse concept is to extend the channel capacity. We will be able to extend the channel capacity. So what do you mean by capacity? Capacity is nothing but, yeah, capacity can be extended or bandwidth can be saved. Okay, we can't increase the bandwidth. We can't increase the number of available channels. So we can increase the capacity by sharing these channels. Means more number of subscribers can be accommodated within a set of channels, or the same number of channels or same set of channels can be reused among different subscribers. Okay, so that is the advantage of using the frequency reuse concept or channel assignment strategies, by which we will be able to increase the capacity of the entire wireless communication system. Then comes the handoff strategies. I already told you what is handoff. That is, if a particular mobile device is served by one base station, later it can be served by another base station. Why? Because my device is in mobile in nature. Mobile in nature means it has ability to move around the globe. Okay. So we can't say that always the device should be static. Then there is no point in technological development or utilization of developments. So these mobile devices may be in roaming, or it will be always mobile in nature. So due to which the service may be switched from one base station to another base station. That is what is known as handoff. And in this module, we will be dealing with different handoff. Then comes the interference on system. Okay. The main concern is while overlapping or while assigning the frequencies or assigning the channels, we have to minimize the chances of interference. Interference cannot be neglected. I mean, it cannot be avoided fully. Okay. So even though it cannot be avoided fully, but still we can reduce the chance of this interference by adopting proper technologies. So here we will be defining certain systems like those by proposing those systems, we will be able to reduce the system interference. Then comes the last, capacity in terms of trunking and grade of service. So these are the two terminologies, especially the grade of service is nothing but a quality of service. It's a measure of quality of service of a system. For example, how well a communication system is effective. So that can be measured in terms of grade of service. It is a quantitative, a quantitative figure that measures the efficiency of a communication system. And by using this trunking, we will be able to improve the and several techniques. Not trunking itself. There are so many concepts like sectoring, cell partitioning, cell splitting. So there we will be discussing some techniques to improve the capacity and coverage of the cellular system. And you can tell me the technique where we will be able to increase the capacity or increase the coverage of a system. What do you mean by coverage? Coverage means the distance is being served by a typical base station. So how you can increase the coverage of a system? Can anybody tell? How you can increase the coverage? Coverage means we are trying to make the message signal to transmit for a large distance. Even the users, the end users who is roaming around the edge of the cell should be able to get the service from the base station. So how you can able to increase the service area or coverage area? Anybody can tell?
Repeaters, sir.
But repeaters can be considered as one example. But the thing is that installing repeaters after every 5 kilometers or 3 kilometers is not so much feasible, because by installation wise and cost wise it is very tedious, right? Other than that, can you suggest any one solution other than using repeaters? By using single base station itself, how you can increase the coverage area?
Antenna, so we can change the antenna.
Base station will have antennas. Base station means, see, physically you will be knowing the towers. No towers after every 2 kilometers, like service providers will have Idea, Airtel and all, they'll be having some towers, right? These towers are nothing but the base station. Okay, the base station will be composed of a high power antenna systems installed over a tower. Why it is being installed over a large tower, very long tower? Why we are using a very long tower and the antenna systems will be installing above that? Why we are using such a system? Why can't?
Because signal only reaches line of sight, and
Yeah.
so if it's low, then it will interfere with objects on the ground.
Yes. You can minimize the collisions or obstacles can be avoided and line of sight communication can be attained. That is one good advantage. Another one is by using this high power transmitting antennas in the base station, signal can be traveled to a long distance. So one important aspect to cover a long distance communication is to impart high power. Okay, the signals can be transmitted along high power in order to transmit the message over a long distance. Clear? So that is one suggestion. Okay, that is one way of enhancing the coverage area. You can increase the power, or high power transmitting antennas can be used on the base station rather than using repeaters. But the thing is that to optimize the energy efficiency, because unwanted power cannot be used or excess power cannot be used, it will go in waste also. So in that case only we are using repeaters in between. Okay, the use of repeaters just to uh, take the signal from the adjacent base station, then amplify it and forward to the next base station. So in between the two base stations, even you can use some kind of repeaters to take the signal, boost and amplify to the adjacent base stations. Hope it is clear. So this is the concept what we are discussing in module 1. So before going to the module 1 syllabus, first of all, I would like to discuss some of the fundamentals of wireless communication. And meanwhile, I have posted the attendance link in the classroom. So once you finish this particular session, you can mark the attendance. No need to mark now. Just wait for the 9:40, because after 40 minutes, this meeting will get ended. So you can mark your attendance after that, and later you can join. Okay. So what is wireless communication? It is nothing but the transmitting voice and data using electromagnetic waves in open space. So we are trying to transmit the message. Message means it can be either in data format or in voice format. Data in the sense the text, video, audio, whatever it may be. All these you will be transmitting in the form of digital signals. That is what is meant by data. Okay. So you can transmit data or voice as such in form of electromagnetic waves. So how you are converting these messages into electromagnetic waves? How you are converting your basic message signal into electromagnetic waves, Kishan? Kishan is there. Basically, you have a
Yes, sir.
signal with
Yes,
you
sir.
or message with you. How you can convert this message into electromagnetic waves? Yes, tell me, Kishan.
Um,
No idea.
no, sir.
Sai Lalitya. How can you convert the message into electromagnetic waves? You can take one example of television systems. What is the message that you are trying to transmit through a television system? I mean, from the studio. Suppose Doordarshan studio you have. So from this, you are transmitting some sort of messages via satellite or some by using some wireless link direct to your home. By using DTS system also you make use of. So from that particular studio, what kind of message you are trying to transmit? Shiva, is it audible? Hello. Is it audible? Not responding, you know.